more. Ethan Behrman, radio host on San Francisco's KGO AM, and Nicki Neily, the president of Speech. First, welcome to you both for a civil discussion.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shannon.
Okay, I want to take a look at this Gallup poll I thought was very interesting. In 2017, they had this question: the climate on my campus prevents some people from saying things they believe because others might find them offensive. 61% of students said, yeah, there's kind of this fear on campus. Ethan, what do you make of that?
Well, I mean, it wasn't necessarily all that different 25 years ago either, when maybe I was stepping foot on a campus in Minnesota. But the issue really comes down to this, that we do need to learn to communicate with one another, to be able to disagree. And one of the things that I think is really important in all of this is we do need to learn to be a little more insensitive. I'm on record on this network saying, in addition to sensitivity training, we need a little bit of insensitivity, meaning don't let our feelings get hurt quite as easily.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Okay, so the director of the London School of Economics had this to say about, this debate on campus. She thinks there should be more openness. She said bubbles where the like-minded reinforce their prejudices are dangerous for open societies, which depend upon the clash of ideas. We need to provide a forum in which those clashes occur productively to advance human knowledge. Standing up for free speech can mean listening to people whose views we find unacceptable, but engaging in civilized debate with offensive ideas is a vital part of open democratic society. I mean, Nicki, isn't that part of what we're supposed to learn in college, that it's not all about us, that there are opposing viewpoints?
That is theoretically what college is supposed to be about, that you're exposed to other ideas, that you sharpen your ideas, you get smarter, maybe you learn, you disagree, but ultimately you come out a better person at the end. And that's why colleges get this wonderful tax treatment. They're sheltered. And for kids today to really be only exposed to one viewpoint and not have their ideas challenged, I mean, there is this significant problem of students who have different opinions just being chilled. They're terrified of retaliation, both from their peers, but then also through official school channels, through policies that might get them in trouble. And so out of an abundance of caution, rightly so, they just refrain from speaking altogether, and that's not a real educational experience.
Okay, I have to read you some of these other numbers. These come in from the YouGov and Foundation for Individual Rights in Education. When they asked college students, does the First Amendment protect hate speech, 54% of them said no, or I don't know. Then they asked, should it protect hate speech? 65% said no, or I don't know. I mean, Ethan, I've covered plenty of cases at the Supreme Court, including Westboro Baptist Church, one of the most offensive organizations out there. They won a free speech case 8-1. Why would the First Amendment be protecting speech we all like? And are you worried that college students don't know this?
Well, I'm always worried when people don't actually understand our Constitution and a Bill of Rights. And I support, while I totally disagree with hate speech, I support the right to say it. I think there is a really important note here. It's really easy to pick on college students. Don't forget that it was up to 40% of Republicans who supported the president to be able to shut down media outlets that they thought were behaving poorly as well. And I do look forward to, I think what's really important in this is the attempt to model good behavior, to bring people together. And I, for one, look back to history at the Buckley-Baldwin debate at Cambridge in 1965 and hope to see more of that coming up in the future.
I want to quickly get Nicki in here too. Another number there, 58% say it's important to be part of a campus community where they're not exposed to intolerant or offensive ideas.
Well, I think you and Leland made an interesting point before. Who's defining what is intolerant? Who's defining what is hate speech? I mean, those are very powerful tools. Those are very powerful words to throw around. And for people to not really know what they mean and then to start to throw that against things that they just disagree with or just dislike altogether, I mean, what are we supposed to do with that? You're assuming that your team is going to be the ones controlling those levers of power. And as this election showed everybody in 2016, a lot of these college students aren't crazy about who's controlling the levers of power today.
Well, Nicki and Ethan, this was very civilized. So thank you both very much. Come back soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shannon.